Now, today we have a very interesting news, specifically in the fandom. In fact, a Pacific fan posted on her own channel saying she was rewatching Bessie Villainous till she noticed something very specific. On the episode Triple A that everybody or Bessie are wrestling, a side character behind the scenes grabbed my attention because it kind of looks like Twin Shadows. And this is the thing that a lot of people were wondering, well, it's basically just an animated project. Usually they rehash old characters just because they don't have time. That's basically normal, right? Well, honestly, not really, because Alan chimed in. He didn't say anything, but he's put an emoji of staring eyes and sweating bullets because they onto him. That means this side character, who looks like Twin Shadows, is a very important character, but we don't know why or where, because if you know anything about Villainous, every single side character has his own storyline. Little by little, Villainous has to have it doing little updates specific characters. Where were they? What happened? Or the event when happened? What they were doing. It seems to me this copy of Twin Shadows is starting to have their own storyline, but not yet fully realized from the fans till Alan was ready to set it up. Of course, also, Eddie Chimichangas sort of broke this down in his own video. If you don't know who he is, he's basically a Villainous YouTuber who actually caught this news first. He broke it down. In fact, most of the information I have got it from him. If you want to watch the original video, follow of Eddie Chimichangas. Of course, be warned, he basically just speaks Spanish completely, so you might have some issues. Just put English subtitles or AI voice chat to translate everything he says. I don't recommend it because it's sort of weird hearing that, but if you don't, you just want to hear this video, because I will break down almost everything he said plus more. Before I get started, my name is Recho. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, through reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you like how it's going, you like to help my channel, put a like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. If not, that's fine. If you do, thank you, because of you, I'm getting close to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. And yes, I'm getting close every single day because of people like you. People like, comment, and share. Now, let's get started. Now, I think the first thing I need to talk about is who is basically Twin Shadows, and something that I'm 100% sure some of you who click this don't know who she is. If you don't, she is basically from the book called High Risk. She's the first appearance came out with that book, and she is basically a hero who works in peace. In fact, you could say she's the few people who work in peace who believe of what peace is doing is good. But makes her interesting is the fact she's very enthusiastic. You could say she's sort of between All Might and Superman. They're good tuties, listen to the rules. She tried her best to do everything. On top of all this, her special ability, she's able to actually make basically copies of herself. But she has this sort of cliche or basically flaw that she create a copy of herself. Pieces of personality breaks off her, that she basically is angry, happy, or obsessed. That's all the character traits really is of that specific copy. But what makes it so dangerous is she knows how to use it. And top of this, she actually knows to do hand-to-hand combat, and she's very good at it. But something so fascinating about her is the fact her title, her name, calling herself Twin Shadows. In fact, I mean, a theory a long time ago talk about Twin Shadows, wondering why she call herself that. Does she actually had a twin, or that just sort of a play on words of her special ability? Honestly, I don't know, but I did make a sort of a fun theory a long time ago talking about it. In fact, Eddie in his own video also gave his own theory, thinking she could be the 11th clone, because in her report of her special abilities, she's only able to do 10 clones in once, but it never sort of explained she can actually push herself to make it more than 10. If that means he could be the runaway clone of Twin Shadow. At least that is another theory, and the fans kind of pull out. She could be the extra clone or actually twin. But there's another theory that seems more possible because of Eddie. Eddie broke down on his own video stating of how to be evil by Black Cat. There's a chapter called Evil Doppelgangers, breaking down which hero has an evil double and why they sort of why they sort of rules and regulation to do that. Now, the people who don't know what an evil doppelganger is, sort of a evil villain who became so obsessed of their own hero, they becoming like them, dressing like them, acting like them, almost to a point is sort of kind of creepy. Something similar, if you've seen The Flash, has sort of a reverse Flash who does that, has the same design, different coloring, but it tells you he's sort of the evil or shadow version of the original hero. But it's just sort of a villain cannot beat him, becoming obsessed with them. The only defeat the hero is become it, losing yourself of the character you hate. In this research, Black Hat gives sort of kind of examples of which hero has an evil doppelganger. And in fact, Twin Shadows reappears on that. Black Hat telling her, yeah, this is a hero, this is her evil rival, her double called Grim Shadow. That's sort of her doppelganger, but what's more, that is sort of, you could say, confirmed, not confirmed, because we don't know this is her official name, or just a name just to hold it for right now, or it's just sort of coincidence, it's just next to it. It's up to your sort of your interpretation of this. Now, Grim Shadow, she is a exact explanation of the handbook of how to be evil by villainous, because how she dresses, because every time you have an evil doppelganger or a rival who want to be you, like basically Reverse Flash from Flash, they have the same design but different variants, but more darker, more kind of villainous sort of approach. And Grim Shadow has that same look as Twin Shadow, but her color code is usually kind of red, almost like a jumpsuit, but not really. She's like a tight shorts and a tank top, but kind of reddish gray with sort of kind of greenish tinted with little bluish tips on her own hair. But at the same time, she is sort of a same replica as Twin Shadow. Of course, this is sort of just assuming, because till Alan confirms or not, could be true. This is her evil rival, evil twin, or some clone she basically ran away and she doesn't want to poof like everybody else. It's all your own interpretation. But this doesn't mean she could be just an evil doppelganger. If she's just sort of a copy, that means she had to act very similar to Twin Shadow, because in the handbook it goes more elaborate explaining that if an evil doppelganger exists, they have to act very similar or a little different, but it had to be the same performance but a different point of view. That she'd be more aggressive, steady and happy, she's more mean, she's more more evil intended, in other words, but you have to have a great performance. But the only problem is, if you have a copycat who attempted to copy you, there's sometimes a chance or cliche losing you with that part. Copying you is just exact something very simple as basically Reverse Flash of the Flash series, because the more you want to be them, the more you lose who you are. Or you be a very bad actor, you could easily just be a gag villain. That could be also a possibility using this version of Twin Shadow. But once again, it's all just your own interpretation, how you feel this is sort of could be a real thing, or just Alan screwing with you or not, because Alan has kind of playful time to mess with you. Of course, later on, a couple days later, there's another artist who worked a villainous called Jerry chimed in saying, the same design, would it be something interesting twist or some random misunderstanding? But not fully confirming this is true or not. Just once again, just sort of the animators just screwing with the fans, poking them that you could be right, but because we are on the contract, we cannot really confirm or deny your statements. Just do what you do best, theorizing, in other words. In a way, the fans are, because the possibility of Twin Shadow actually having a bigger storyline, especially she came out on the book of High Risk, means there's a small chance maybe she reappears on the spin-off series of Villainous, having more big impact, because they are focused on some characters of the second book of the second comic book of High Risk. So she could be having a voice actress, having more things to say. We just don't know. But at the very end, this is the whole point. Just sort of having fun with it, understanding this could be not, we just don't know, or this just sort of misunderstanding, how Jerry sort of poking at us, saying you're overthinking it. Honestly, I don't know. You feel Twin Shadow, Grim Twin Shadow is a real twin, a fake, a copy of arch rival who trying to copy her to defeat her? We just don't know. It depends on your own opinion. Now, honestly, I can't say much. That's all I can say in research. I have one question. What do you think? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.